Right now on WVUA News at 6, a 4-year-old who was shot in her sleep is heading back to school. Find out the latest on her condition and what's being done about the case. Plus, see what authorities in California are doing to contain a wildfire that's been burning for more than a week. And the countdown for college football is on. Hear what Coach Nick Saban has to say about this week's game. News at 6 starts right now.
From the campus of the University of Alabama, live, local news. From Alabama's home team, this is WVUA News at 6.
5 days and counting till the official start of Alabama football. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Philip Coleman. Bama fans everywhere are gearing up for this week's game. Details now in tonight's top story. The reigning national champions start their quest for their 16th title this Saturday at the Georgia Dome. The #1 ranked Tide is taking on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Crimson Tide head football coach Nick Saban held his first game week news conference today. He says it's an exciting time.
An exciting time. It's always an exciting time when it's game week. It's a great opportunity for, every team, and specifically our team, to sort of show, who you are. Are you going to be the real thing? Are you going to be for real? Or are you just going to be somebody that's kind of out there?
And you can see Saban's news conference in its entirety at our website. That's WVUATV.com. And the game will be televised on ESPN. Kickoff is set for 4:30. And football season is almost upon us, and your home team has got you covered. We'll be carrying Nick Saban's news conference live every Monday at noon during the season. And if you can't watch it live, you can find it at our website. That's WVUATV.com.
On your election watch tonight, voters head to the polls tomorrow for Tuscaloosa City municipal elections. Residents will decide who they want representing them on the city council and on the school board. Tuscaloosa City Clerk Tracy Croom told WVUA she does not anticipate much wait time at the polls. Croom says local elections are very important for Tuscaloosa residents.
The leaders that will be elected tomorrow and possibly in the October 8th election really do shape our future. And so it's really very important for the citizens of Tuscaloosa to come out and let their voice be heard.
Croom says 3 voting locations have changed, and if you have questions about those new locations, you can call 311 or go to alabamavotes.gov.
And be sure to stay with WVUA TV News for special coverage of tomorrow's elections. We'll have the latest results as soon as the polls close at 7 p.m., along with extensive coverage during a special election edition of WVUA News at 10, including live interviews with the winners.
New at 6 for you tonight, 4-year-old shooting victim Tamara Harper began a new chapter in her life and headed back to school today.
And this is all while authorities continue to search for suspects in the case. WVUA's Jennifer Edwards has the story.
It's been just over a month since 4-year-old Tamara Harper returned home after suffering gunshot wounds to her arm and head. Tamara's grandmother, LaShonda Gibson, says sending her and her twin sister off on their first day of pre-K is bittersweet.
I'm a little bit excited, a little nervous. They're both, still a little traumatized, but other than that, they're fine.
Gibson says because of the extent of Tamara's injuries, she's limited on what she can do at school, but she didn't want her to miss out.
We have to be extra careful with her right now, with her head injury and her arm, because it's not all the way healed like we want it to be, but it's healed enough for her to start school.
As Tamara and her family open this new chapter, Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Lieutenant Kip Hart says investigators continue to work the case.
But they're still running down leads. They were actually out working on something this morning with some information that came in.
Authorities arrested 23-year-old Kendrick Height in connection with the shooting in mid-July. But Hart says they're looking for more suspects.
We still believe that there were more than one person involved. At this time, we have not had enough information to charge that person or to verify that he actually was involved. And so they're still just in the process of trying to obtain enough information to see where that goes.
Hart says despite the injuries Tamara's facing, he's glad to see her doing so well. Reporting in Tuscaloosa County, Jennifer Edwards, WVUA News.
And Gibson says Tamara will visit a children's hospital neurosurgeon every 2 months for a checkup on her injuries. And if you have any information regarding this case, authorities encourage you to call Crime Stoppers at area code 205-752-STOP.
Happening around Alabama tonight, authorities and animal rights advocates announced one of the largest multi-state dogfighting raids in U.S. history. After a 3-year investigation inside dogfighting and gambling, 12 people from Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, and here in Alabama were arrested. 367 dogs were seized. The U.S. Attorney says the defendants were betting between $5,000 and $200,000 on individual dog fights. The raid was conducted by federal, state, and local authorities with help from animal rights groups.
It's a really a sad day to me, and the sad day of affairs of the state of Alabama to have to even indulge in this type of criminal activity and prosecution. I believe if Dante were alive today and were rewriting the Inferno, that the lowest places in hell would be reserved for those who commit cruelty to our animals and to our children.
The animals seized are now at undisclosed locations. They are being cared for by the United States Humane Society and also the ASPCA.
In Montgomery tonight, the head of the retirement systems of Alabama, David Bronner, is urging Governor Robert Bentley to accept the president's Medicaid expansion under the 2010 Health Care Act. Bronner claims the governor opposes this law simply because he's running for re-election next year and President Obama is unpopular in most of the state. Bronner stresses that it doesn't make sense for Alabama not to accept billions of federal dollars for health care. Bentley has responded by saying that he doesn't think the Obama law, as he calls it, is a workable solution. It's going to be a big week for the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater.
That is right. The amphitheater has 2 big acts coming this week. Backstreet's back. The Backstreet Boys are set to hit the stage Tuesday at 8 p.m. DJ Pauly D will be there as well as a special guest. And if Christian rock is more your taste, the popular group Casting Crowns is set to perform Thursday at 7 p.m. The special guest will be Francesca Battistelli. Tickets are still available for both the shows.